Hey guys, PokeTrips here. I know most of you guys that watch these videos are newer to Pokemon. Because you are new, you don't know some of the lore or weird things about Pokemon. This will be a video covering 5 interesting things about Pokemon. If you aren't brand new to Pokemon, you might already know these, but who knows, you might learn something you didn't know. To start us off, we have a fact about Pokemon that is more well known and isn't as crazy. And everybody knows the Pokemon Cubone, right? The cute little ground type has a skull on his head and he wears it around, and he has a bone in his hand, right? Well, did you know that this skull that the Cubone wears around is actually his mother's skull? This has been referenced multiple times in the Pokédex. For example, Pokemon Moon's Pokédex entry reads, "The skull it wears on his head is that of his dead mother. According to some, it will evolve when it comes to terms with the pain of her death." Pretty creepy, huh? Cubone goes a bit deeper than that lore-wise, though. Some people speculate that a Cubone is a baby Kangaskhan whose mother has died. Those people say that Kangaskhan that still have their mothers stay as Kangaskhan, but those that lose their mother become a Cubone. It's not a fact, but it's pretty interesting to think about. Next up, we have Mew. It is said that Mew is the ancestor of all Pokemon, and that Mew turned into different Pokemon based on the environment that it was in. People say this because Mew is one of the only 2 Pokemon that can learn Transform, which, in theory, it could have used to adapt to its environments. Speaking of learning Transform, Ditto is the only other Pokemon that can learn Transform, and it's not likely a coincidence that only Ditto and Mew can learn Transform. Before we go any farther, let me explain something about Mew. The original team of Pokemon, Team Rocket, wanted to clone Mew in order to make a new, stronger breed of Pokemon. Their goal was to create a Mewtwo. It is thought that the failed clones turned into Ditto, which is supported by the fact that these are the only 2 Pokemon that can learn Transform. And, besides that, their color palettes are the same. Not just their normal ones either, but when they are shiny, both of them are blue as well. This is one of the more possible theories. If you are new to Pokemon and you have been doing an online battle, or you have been talking to some diehard Pokemon fans, you may have heard something along the lines of, "What, an Arceus?" And as soon as you heard this, you were just completely lost. People say things like this because, in the Pokemon world, Arceus is seen as the Pokemon god. While Mew is the one that is thought to be the ancestor of all Pokemon, Arceus is thought to have actually created the Pokemon universe. Arceus is from the Sinnoh region, a region where Dialga and Palkia also roam. Dialga is the being of space, and Palkia the being of time. It is said that, to create time and space, Arceus created Dialga and Palkia to rule these things and keep balance in the world. Arceus is also thought to have created every single Pokemon. That is why it is viewed as a god. Lastly, we have a little known fact that some diehard Pokemon fans might not even know. Everybody knows that Pikachu is the mascot of Pokemon, and I mean everyone. When you say Pokemon in front of somebody, even somebody that doesn't really know anything about Pokemon, their usual response will be, "Oh, you mean like Pikachu?" And this is to be expected, as Pikachu is the mascot for Pokemon. But what if I told you that this was a mistake? Or that this wasn't the case? Originally, Pikachu wasn't intended to be the mascot. Clefairy was. Clefairy, however, was thought to be too cute and girly to be the mascot. Pikachu, however, seemed cool and cute at the same time, being appealing to both guys and girls. This made the Pokemon Company change Pikachu to be the mascot of the company. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I sure know that I enjoyed making it. If you want to see more top 5s, make sure to let me know down below. But for now guys, this has been PokeTrips, logging off.